So let me say good evening, good afternoon, wherever part of the world you are joining us from. We say welcome tonight to another edition of the Myers Leadership Society and Nation Building episode. We are glad to be on the platform tonight with another edition of the show. We want to say welcome, wherever part of the world you are joining us from. Tonight going to be a great discussion. Tonight we are going to be talking on a topic, civic responsibility, rights, duties, and participation. So it's going to be a great discussion tonight with our guest. He's going to be joining us tonight. Today going to be the first time of us having with us the Secretary General of the All Liberian Student Association in India. He's going to be here joining us tonight for the discussion. So I want to say please stay tuned as we go through the discussion for tonight. So as we are with tonight, our official host is Miss Queen. She's going to be here very shortly as well. So where we are, what we are here now, let's please try to share as many as we can do. Please send in your comments in the comment section. You can like, share as many as you can do for. Please don't forget to follow us as well on YouTube. We are begging you, please follow our channel on YouTube as well. So let's take some music, the Miles TV. Facebook, we say we own no copyright to the song. Let's take music. Once we get back, we hope by then our guest uh, host will be here. Thank you. Let's join you shortly.
Oh, my TV, light in the world. My TV, shine on the screen. Voices of hope, living the dream. From Africa's heart to the world we see. Truth and culture. Maya's TV, Maya's TV, bringing light each day, stories that guide us, show the way, one love, one voice, one destiny, welcome to the future, Maya's TV, a vision was born with a purpose so true, Buena Myers, we honor you. With faith and courage, the journey began. Building a platform for every man. Through trials and growth, the light stayed strong. Turning every challenge into a yeah. Oh, my TV, light in the world. My TV, shine on the screen. Voices of hope, living the dream. From Africa's heart to the world we see. Truth and culture. Maya's TV, Maya's TV, bringing light each day, stories that guide us, show the way, one love, one voice, one destiny, welcome to the future, Maya's TV, a vision was born with a purpose so true, Buena Myers, we honor you. With faith and courage, the journey began. Building a platform for every man. Through trials and growth, the light stayed strong. Turning every challenge into a
Hello, Miss Queen. How are you?
I'm okay, Miles. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing good. So the floor is yours.
How's the weekend? I want to ask about your weekend. How is it going?
My weekend is not bad. Just being home, trying to do a lot of research, and it is what it is. Nothing much. I've been planning to come Punjab today, but unfortunately, I have to postpone the trip to next week because you not confirm my hosting.
Don't come for me trouble. So what's our where Mr. Kuno?
I sent a link to our guest already. I hope he's getting prepared now to join us very soon.
Okay, that's great. So let me say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, as the location you are following us from. My name is Queen Annie, your host for today's show. I'm here with my co-host Myers. Can you please introduce yourself?
Okay, thank you so much, Queen. So, D. Bernard Maris is my name. Currently studying in India. Uh, studying at the International University, studying Operation Theater Technology, basically a surgical tech. So I'm so excited tonight to be on the platform, to discuss other issue. Queen, the good part about it is that we are getting a lot of knowledge, outside of few studies that making us come because we know tomorrow we have a lot of things to do, a lot of burden. So with outside our few studies, at least we are getting more ideas. Thank you so much.
That's great. When you call your name Deep Bona Myers, I just laugh anytime
Why are you laughing?
because if someone does not call this name like that, it's of serious issues. I know you very very well.
No, no,
Yeah,
no, no. It's not. No, 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 no. I don't have issue with people calling me whatever name. So, there's a queen. When I was in Liberia, I was in the classroom. Like the first day I went to the class, I introduced myself. Like my name is Bona D. Myers, and my other colleagues that were working together, they had problem. I was like, why do you never say Mr. Myers or Brother Myers? Like, no. Those things I know, the students have to respect me. It's just a matter of fact of how I'm gonna present myself to them. That's all. So that Mr. Brother thing, it doesn't matter though. Yeah, it is what it is. Yeah.
that's great for me. If you call Queen, without putting, some people call me Queen Annie. I say this is not my name. You have to put the I. I respect that name so much. You just have to call my full name. I don't like any title anyway. So let me say thanks for those that are just joining. Our topic is civic responsibility, rights, duty, and participation. That's our topic. So tonight we having one of our great men, and that happen to be Mr. Tiko from India. He's our secretary for all our brain students in India. Wow, what a great night. So honorable people here, so they will do the honorable thing, with the exception of me, Myers, our guest, and all
No,
present.
no, no, no. I beg you, don't make it that kind of way, Queen. Queen is an honorable woman. Queen serve as representative. I'm thinking
Guys,
tonight that Tico gonna be
don't,
facing it very, very strong because he's gonna meet it. Please, I beg you. I'm the only man who is not honorable. Just Myers. Myers is Myers.
don't
Not
honorable Myers. Ha. So that's it. Tonight gonna be great. Okay, that's great. That's great. That's great. Um, it's a Tigo. How you doing?
Uh, hello, Miss Queen. How are you?
I'm doing great. How's your end?
Yeah, all
Chairman,
is
Chairman.
my husband. How you doing?
I'm doing great, Chairman. I better see you tonight, Chairman. Queen, sorry for cutting you off, but I need to salute the Chairman. That man's a big man, Queen. I tell you,
Ah,
he's
that's
very big man.
honorable man. The honorable
I
people,
know,
you have to.
I know you were the lawmaker in studio. You gotta be careful. Then people quit some more people.
I don't have clue on what you are saying, Mr. Tico. So for me, like I told my yesterday, I was actually talking about you. I was like, so when your last, so I have to ask you before I start to say something. I might even call you my dad last name.
Are you being serious now?
Yeah, sure. So can I get your last name correct before proceeding?
I'm content.
Okay, that's great. So, actually, it's my first time seeing on the My TV platform, and tonight going to be great because I know the great man who is here. So, not to waste our time, our followers want to know who is Mr. Tico. So, let's hear from him for introduction.
Yeah, so let me start by saying good evening to the two of you in studio, Miss Queen Annie. Am I right?
You, I.
Yeah, and my good friend and brother there, Mr. Bonadi Myers. It is an honor being with you guys, and in studio today. Most especially when I saw the topic, civic responsibilities, talking about our rights, duties, and participation. I feel that this subject or lies at the heart of nation building. So I find it honoring to be part of this platform. So yes, I'm Tiklo Wia Konton, and as you all know, I'm the current Secretary General of the Association of Liberian Students in India. Uh, I'm a Liberian. That's important, and most importantly, I would say a Pan Africanist, because we are grounded with the ideology. And I'm an engineer. With respect to profession, I got my bachelor in civil engineering, and in recent time completed my course in transportation engineering specialization. So we are here today, and let's talk the talk. Like I said, this topic lies at the very heart of nation building, so we think is important to discuss it. Thank you.
Wow, that was the voice of our guest. Very energetic. Tonight we're going to be learning a lot of things. So you can just take your notepad, your pen, and then get set. So thanks so much, Mr. Tico, for accepting our invite. It's our first. I think it's my first time seeing you, and it's a privilege for the Myers TV family. So before getting started, Myers, can we take our musical intro and then get to business? Myers is sleeping.
Light in the world, my STV, shine on the screen. Voices of hope, living the dream. From Africa's heart to the world will see truth and culture. My STV, my STV, bringing light each day. Stories that guide us, show the way. One love, one voice, one destiny. Welcome to the future, Maya's TV. A vision was born with a purpose so true. Buena Myers, we honor you. With faith and courage, the journey began. Building a platform for every man. Through trials and growth, the light stayed strong, turning every challenge into
Thank you so much to our hardworking boss who happen to be our CEO of Brain Behind the Myers TV. In person of D Bona Myers. Let me put a D there because I know I might fight people for this D. Yeah, so for we will say welcome to the Myers TV. Our topic is civic responsibility. We are talking about rights, duty, and participation. Now we are here with our guest in studio tonight, Mr. Tico. We are Konto. Yeah, I've gotten this.
Yeah, I come to issue with you, Jeremiah, too, because from the very beginning, I think you did the honest thing to have asked for the right pronunciation of the name. and I said contour. And so when you start to call it contour, then it means you'll be calling something different. So I can't take issue with you together, my head.
Pardon me, sir. Sorry for that.
Chairman, no, tonight, Chairman, I have no issue with you. We're going straight to the point, Chairman. No issue. I beg you, man. Say,
I
I ain't getting issue with her tonight.
I try
Okay.
I try to escape this in that line. Keep saying chairman, chairman. So I think I have to join you as well. Chairman or Mr. Secretary. Yeah, that's the name. So I think we have to skip this in tonight. Yeah, so let's get into business. So Mr. Contour, Mr. Secretary. Your people are listening, they want to know why you brought us today. So we give you 10 minutes to elaborate on the topic.
Okay. Thank you very much. So, like
Hello,
I
am
said,
I audible?
you getting me?
Yes, you are. Queen, you are.
Miles, are you getting
Eh,
me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, Chairman, you
When
are.
we are getting you, we are getting you loud.
Yeah, you can go ahead, Chairman.
Okay. I think Miss Queen has issue with her internet there. Yeah. So Myers, again, let me say thank you for the invite, and it's an honor. And like I said from the very beginning, that this topic is at the very heart. That this topic is, yeah, Miss Queen, welcome back.
Yes, thank you. So Miles, like I said, I was saying, um, our follower want to know why you brought us. We are all set to listen to you, so give you 10 minutes to elaborate.
Yeah, thank you. So I was in flight when your mic had problem. 1 minute, please. Let me. I beg you. Please give me 1 minute. Yeah, I got issue with my computer. Let me get it plugged quick, please, before the battery run down.
That's great. You're
Yeah,
welcome.
please.
So you see, when I actually call interrupted, I didn't want to say anything because I know my co-hosts are already proceeded from where I stopped. There's a saying that says when you go late in the church, you don't just raise any song because some have already raised that song. My idea, all of that. Some
Yeah,
have
yeah, yeah,
already.
yeah. Maybe we are sung hallelujah, then you can't hallelujah, you don't care up, yeah. But I don't know why you want to care, so you just have to leave all the way you met us, just leave all of
Yeah,
that so we can, yeah.
our guest wanted to put me out in serious problem, but happy to thank God that everything was okay. So we want to say if you have a Kwan, if you have anything to be said as a follower, you can just step in the comment section and then we will recognize that. So our topic is civic responsibility, rights, duty, and participation. So while we are waiting our guests, so to my co-host, Potin Bodan Myers, what do we understand? What's the insight on this topic? Because it's very cardinal to every patriotic citizen of a country, regardless of India, Liberia, or any part of Africa or European nation is very, very important. And also, we are excited that the Myers TV they are always available, waiting to provide education on these things that our people will be enlightened on these topics. So let's hear from you, Pona Myers.
So thank you so much, Queen, and thanks to our listeners for joining us tonight. So basically, when you hear the word civic responsibility, it it tells us about those obligations or those responsibilities that we as a citizen is upon us, to do, right? When you live in a country as a citizen, there are some responsibility that you have to carry on in that particular country, right? Whether you are by birth or how do you call it, right? By naturalizations, there are responsibility that has been given to you. And number one, in our country like Liberia now, it is upon every citizen to participate when it comes to our electoral process in the country. Once you are above the age of 18, it is your right and responsibility to partake in our elections or whatever election has been placed in the country. Another thing, we as a citizen, right, is upon us. If you look at our constitution, right, it's upon us. It's a right and responsibility of every citizen to have the equality when it comes to education. It is our responsibility to have that, right, in the country. Because we're in our country, right, it's not just our country, but outside the walls, where they have private and they have government entity or government institution, right? So the government institution there provide what? Education for all citizens. That's why when you look at our country back then, before then, it used to be very free, but I think now, they have a little amount there, for maintenance and other things. So it's upon you as a citizen to have equal education, right? So once you don't take the advantage of these things serious, and what happened at the end of the day, it become problem for you. That's why we talk about when it comes to the decision making and other thing, participation. You won't be able to participate in anything because the right and responsibilities you have is equal education, the right to vote. You have all these responsibilities, you as a young person or citizen of the country. If you don't maintain, or if you don't take these things serious, what happens at the end of the day? It become problem for you now when it comes to decision making, because you don't have any ideas on it. You don't have any idea what happened when we get to school. We learn about our country. We learn the foundation of Liberia. We learn those things that those resources. We learn those things that we as a citizen, right, we are to do in the country, and then we are not to do. You as a citizen, right, is upon you to obey every rules and regulation of the country. Every rules and regulation that have been set in the country is upon you to obey them. Right? They say ignorant to the law is no excuse. It is not, it's upon you that every rules and regulation that have been set, you must try to live by it, because you are under the rules and regulation of that particular country. So it is upon you to live upon to live upon it, whatever rules they put there. So as a citizen, I'm gonna give our guest time, but as a citizen, there are a lot we have to do. But I just listed three for us, and I hope that we just get that. And I know our guest gonna go deeper when it comes to this particular topic. I don't want to take a lot of your time, to allow him to flow. Thank you, Queen.
Thank you so much, to my co-host. So let's hear from our guest. You are welcome, sir.
Yeah, thank you once more. And let me say sorry for the break in. I didn't plug my computer and the battery I was there was running low. So yes, we listened to Myers, and he tried to lay the basis, and it's very important. So one thing first and foremost we must understand is our rights and responsibility. And I tell you for free, at the very foundation of every democratic society, there should be a balance between what citizens are entitled to, that is their rights, right? And then what is expected of them, that happens to be their responsibility. So when we understand this foundational basis of democratic society, and what citizens are entitled to and what are expected of citizens, then it means that we are willing to make progress. So in Liberia, or referencing our 1986 constitution, I stand to be corrected, quote unquote, or Article 11, I think it gives rights to some fundamental rights. Every citizen has the right, right? You have the right to life, the right to liberty, security, and you have right to freedom of speech and expression. Yeah, you have the right to freedom of assembly and association. Those basic rights are there. The right to equal protection under the law. Those rights are there, right, within our very constitution. But one thing we must take to consideration is that these rights are privileges. They are absolute protection that ensures dignity, fairness, and justice for everyone. So sometimes somebody will say, where your rights stop, another person's begin. So we tell you that despite these rights are protections, And for everyone, we must also ensure that and take to consideration that these rights doesn't exist in total isolation. So they are sustained by our own responsibility. So that's why the rights are there is to be given fairly to every citizen of a nation. But we must also understand that this right doesn't exist in isolation. So wherein you have a right, those rights must be sustained by the responsibility that come with it as a citizen. So let's take, for instance, the freedom of speech. Yeah, as a freedom of speech, that's a right. But do you know that freedom of speech comes with a responsibility? You as a citizen, what's your responsibility when it comes to freedom of speech? Despite you have freedom of speech, it doesn't give you have a responsibility to not to spread misleading information. despite despite like your freedom to speech. But you should know that there's a responsibility that comes with that, and you as a citizen must not use that right to spread misleading information. You must not use that right to incite violence. Despite you have that freedom, but you cannot misuse that right. So there where for that right to be sustained, you must also be a responsible citizen. So also you have the right to liberty. Yes, you have the right to liberty, but you should understand that the right to liberty comes with a duty to obey the law. Like Maya was saying, right? The right to liberty, to freedom, it comes with a responsibility. It comes with a duty. You must obey the law of the land. You have freedom to move about. You have that freedom to live as a person, but also know that where you are living, there is a governance system, a bylaw established to safeguard everyone, to give fairness, to justice. So you must also know that you must live by the law that governs that particular place. We are here in India as Liberian students. And so India has a law that protects the living condition of whether foreigner or citizens that are here. You have a freedom as an international student to study. Every institution you find yourself in has their own governing principles, regulations that you must obey. So that's why you have freedom to certain things, to move around the campus, to attend your class, to participate in extracurricular activities, but you should also take into consideration that you must obey the school rules and regulations. So all of these rights comes with responsibility. That's our part to play as citizens in our nation. We have the right to vote. Like I listened to Mr. Myers, we have the right to vote. But it comes with a responsibility to make informed and peaceful choice. So not because you have the right to vote, so it means you just jump up one money and just vote. Yeah. So when you are doing that, you are going to the pool station, you should understand that going to that pool station, there are certain tolerance, level of tolerance. There are certain things, there are certain actions that have to be exhibited at the pool station when you are going to vote. You cannot go and be disturbing because you have a candidate that you are supporting, you just around the place, just saying it anyhow and doing it anyway. And, then the law might take a course at some point when people feel that your right that you have now becomes a violation to other people within the space. So all of these rights that we have, they have their own responsibility. So society that demands right without honoring responsibility risks disorder and instability. Obviously, that's why it is. Once we cannot align our rights with our responsibility, what we look forward to will just be disorder and instability. That's what we're going to observe. So then when I read through your guideline, the issue, why do people ignore these duties? That's something we must also know. So why do you think people will ignore? these duties that we have as citizens. So basically, there could be so many factors. The lack of civic education could be a reason. So it is a key challenge, that we face, that many of the citizens emphasize their right, but then they neglect their duty. That part is clear. We push for our right. We're supposed to get this, we're not getting. But what is your duty? Why are you really participating? Are you showing responsibility for these rights that you are advocating for? So it could be the lack of civic education. Have we found out time to provide education? And so people are simply unaware of their responsibilities. Obviously, maybe they are being told of their rights, but they have not been told about the responsibility they have with respect to that particular right. Also, it could be distrust in institution. So sometimes you find out that many people are simply carried away. They try to make effort, but then their efforts they are making are not yielding fruit. So they feel that they must decline with respect to their participation. Sometimes I'm aware, but then I'm making this effort, and I see that at the end of the day, the effort that I'm bringing doesn't show any change. So you see, gradually the level of participation starts to decline. So it could be another one. One factor could be the lack of civic education. People are not being told their responsibility. Another thing could be distrust in institutions. So yes, I'm aware of my responsibility, but then I apply effort, I try to make out time to participate, but then all I'm doing, there's no change coming. We're still experiencing the same thing. So at the end of the day, I feel that there's no need to participate in these things. And it happens across, even the right to vote. Sometimes people feel what the essence of going to vote. When we vote, the people come to do the same thing. So I'm not going to vote. Nobody should give me hard time. Yeah, let put it in simple English. No, nobody will give me hard time. Yeah, I remember the last time I was talking to somebody that going to vote, and said nobody will give me hard time. We go there and put the people that I think they will go do. So sometimes it's just about distrust in the institutions that I run. Sometimes it could be as a result of social economic pressures. The issue of daily survival. Yeah, the issue of daily survival can be overshadowed by our civic engagement. So maybe in our community, there's some level of engagement there that require or all of us participation, but people are there to even get food to eat to survive is hard. And the only thing that layman is thinking on how to go raise something to start a day the next morning, or even maybe to have his uh let's say to have his phase of the day, even if not the first phase, but maybe that end of day phase, and that level of survival. So if he wants to get involved with community participation, who feeds him? Are these activities within the community providing avenue that will keep his day going, that will make him to have means of survival? So sometimes people feel that they don't want to, volunteer to provide service, to at least participate in some of these activities that can. So those could be serious reasons why people are not showing responsibility to some of these rights that we have. Another thing could be probably, or should I say, cultural attitude. Let's say it that way. And where someone may believe that government is solely the responsibility of the leaders and not me as a person. Is just the leader. So it happened even in our little surrounding. And once you become the head, people feel that all of the responsibility, all of the burdens are on you. But they do not take to consideration that myself has a part to play. So let's take our ALSR as a case study. So you as a leader, what happened to the people that you are leading? So Most time you see people will have situation and they want to run back to the leadership. So they want to ask for help. They want to ask for assistance. Yes, comrade, the fact that the association exists, and we put in mechanism to raise funds through membership due, through reaching out to goodwill personalities that can assist. Yes, if you have issue, even if we cannot cover all of that responsibility, but one way or the other, we must step in, we must assist, we must show concern. That's the essence of the association. But what happened is that you yourself, as a person, you are shying away from your own responsibility despite you have the right, but you are shying away from your own responsibility. When was the last time you, as a member of the association, paid due? So let's say that's your responsibility. Yes, Marius, that's your responsibility as a member of the association. So now you have issue, you are coming to the leader and you want the leadership to extend support, then you're not being fair to the association. So it's the same thing with respect to our different countries where we come from. So nation building is not one-sided effort. It is a shared responsibility, both the citizens and the leaders, right? So all of us must collaborate our efforts to ensure that progress comes, to ensure that we have a good end result, what we want to see. So our participation is needed. So as citizens, we must be aware of our civic duties and responsibilities, all of those rights we are pushing for. Are we taking into consideration the part we have to play? So it's important. So the importance of active citizenship is very, very much to be given consideration, because the issue of active citizenship is a lifeblood of any progressive nation. Active citizenship, it is a lifeblood of any progressive nation. So it goes beyond voting during election. It includes a lot of things, not just voting as a person, because maybe people just feel the only part I get to play, I'm just vote. So when I vote now, that one, the people we voted, they are the leaders now, that they are well to do it. But then you yourself now have your own part to play as a citizen, a cut across from obeying the laws and respecting public orders. Yes, that's one important thing you might not want to take to consideration. So it's not just about voting. So when you vote, when the people you voted, when they come to power, when they start to enforce the laws that are there within the constitution, when they deem it necessary, they say this particular part we feel that there's a need for amendment. Let's make some change there. Like even the ASR recent time, the parliament proposed amendment to the portion of the constitution that have to do with due, and it made a lot of sense. So it's because all of the different chapters must feel the impact of due. They must have a means to participate. Since individual students from the different universities cannot pay due, what's the best way forward? So Parliament suggested that yes, let the chapters take responsibility of this due, so they can encourage their students to pay due to them, and some percentage can come to the national government. With that, at least we have something covered. It's not for our personal being. We ourselves came to India. We knew that we have a tax to honor, right? And so those funds are not intended for us. It's for the same students. So when they are there, when there are issues, the issue that were in Chhattisgarh this one time, the president had to go there to see how best we can resolve. Those are the essence of those funds. You don't expect a student like Jocelyn, a student like myself, a student like the speaker, to use the little, should I say, allowance that he receives, for sustainability in India as a student, to be using that and be passing around. So the late due you pay, those funds in cover are things that they will be able to manage. They can tap up to 8 years, and but they cannot shoulder all of the responsibility, not because they are the leaders. Yeah. So those are things we talk about obeying the laws and respecting public orders are things that citizens must take to consideration. Paying taxes where it's applicable, the same thing to our due. So as citizens, we have to pay tax when it's applicable. The issue of somebody purchasing your land, I believe that it comes with some tax responsibility. Once you own a land, some lay incentive must go in the LRA or Treasury. So you need to pay late due. But how many people, Marius, how many people across Liberia that own a land that is willing to pay tax for the land that they own? No. How many people, the last time I was trying to provide education, that how many people buy a land through the referral process where they want to obtain permit from the Ministry of Public Works, because when you pass through those processes, there are some fees you have to pay, and those fees goes within the government or covers. Those are things that prop up, and the treasury, the safe of the government, and those same funds are the one they use to sustain the government and to give a better living condition of the citizens. But if we cannot respond to these duties, then at the end of the day we shift blame on the government. Then it means that we are not being responsible citizens. So another thing could be engaging in community development activities. It's important. You cannot be in your community. There are initiatives, there are engagement, and you don't want to participate. Then what is the essence? And I stand to be corrected. I think Martin Luther King Jr. would say, it's not what your country can do for you, but what you as a person too can do for your country. So it's just boiled down to this thing of rights and responsibility. It's not about the country doing what is required of her that is entitled to citizens, but what also is the responsibility of citizens. What their own part to play? Are they performing that particular part? So those are things we're talking about. We can hold our leaders accountable if we are responsible citizens. We can hold our leaders accountable in a lawful and constructive way. The Constitution gives rights to that. But then how can we do it when we are not responsible as citizens? How can we do that? We are pushing the people to do these things, but we ourselves are not making effort. So when citizens actively participate in governance, it improves. Things improve. Transparency increases. Development becomes more inclusive. So once we become responsible citizens, not just to demand our rights, but to also respond or sustain those rights with our responsibility and duties, then it means that we are leading towards transparent and developed nation. So transparency and development becomes more inclusive and not one-sided, only on the leaders. It also boils down to the citizens. So this is where we are, and this is where we come in as citizens. So people need to understand these things. So if we take, for example, a real life reflection. So let's consider a common scenario, where citizens protest for poor road condition. We are protesting for a poor road condition, but then we refuse to stop illegal construction. We're protesting for poor road, but then we will see construction is going on that is not legal, but we are not stopping it. So when a construction is illegal and we allow it to happen, at the end of the day, we want to shift blame on the government. So we as citizens too can see that as our responsibility. Maybe in your community, someone is carrying on illegal construction. We identify that. We can put a hold of that. We can call the referral authority to investigate, because the essence is to ensure that things are done the right way. So obviously, it's not like because somebody will say prognosing, or yeah, let's say that way, our common thing, you feel that the person is doing too much. No, but everyone have a right, and everyone have a responsibility that sustains those rights. So maybe take a case study of a community project, right? So when only a few individuals within our community show up to contribute, tell me how progress is going to be like. It's going to be very slow. But where if we collaborate, everyone come together, and to put effort, and not leaving it with just few individuals. Because if you leave it with those individuals, at the end of the day, we are expecting benefit from those projects. But what was our contribution now as community dwellers? What was our contribution to the project? We are expecting to benefit from the project, but we left the project with just few people to handle the project. We agree the community might have leader, community chairman, whatever. So when this initiative comes, they see community people instead of the chairman going look for maybe it's a community or town hall or whatever, or a community hall or youth center. I'm in the community, I'm an engineer, I'm there, and maybe I cannot volunteer myself to provide maybe supervision or give professional guidance with respect to the project that is ongoing. The community leaders have to go look for people all around that they will pay to come. But at the end of the day, I expect myself to benefit from that same project. Then it's not being fair, Marius. Then it's not being fair. Then it doesn't show or present you to be a responsible citizen. So let's say that all of us, the youth, the young adults, every citizen must be responsible, because all of us have our civic duties, and we must participate into these duties. So now more, except there are questions to come. Uh, we can still talk, but let me take a break from here. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It was actually interesting. I didn't want you to stop on my local time making bitterly. They say every good thing must come to an end. Yeah. So, when you were speaking, you actually stated a lot of things, and what tried to my mind is that, nowadays citizens preach their rights more than knowing their responsibility. In our country from Liberia, if we do every little thing, this is my right, that's my right to do this, that's my right to do that. But the responsibility that is coming with it, like we look at LEC today in Liberia, yeah, that's their right to have electricity at their home. But the responsibility of taking care of these things, it become a problem. Coming to water and steward, that's the responsibility to have these things in your community. But the responsibility that comes with maintaining these things to ensure, when we're talking about or recent on Wednesday, we're talking about nation building, and this topic is just in path or in line with nation building, right? So once you are a citizen of a country and you have a lot of rights, yes, their responsibility or duty in doing that, like our secretary was talking about this area, that's your responsibility or your right to come to India to join the Liberian Student Association. For taking that responsibility, a lot of people in India, like Liberians, people already have the mindset, me, I come to India to score my A plus. Anything outside the A plus, they're not concern me. At the end of the day, if something happens, you expect a leader. So who are you expecting to lead their program as well to come and cater to you? It tells that everyone is inclusion, everyone have to work to ensure that everyone we are well pleased and safe in India. That's our responsibility as a Liberian students in India, as a Africans in India. Because like when we came to India, we saw there is a rules and regulations that God incorporate India, even our institution. If you go above or beyond that, definitely you're going to face in the Lord. So with time, because we don't have time in our favor, we'll soon be wrapping up. So I have a few questions for you, Mr. Gay, before I turn to my co-host. So what happens if citizens demand rights but ignore duties? What happened? What's the pros and cons when it comes to that?
Then society lacks balance. because because like we said, those rights are sustained by the responsibility and duties we have as citizens. So if we only focus on what we are what are entitled to us as citizens, and disregard the part that we have to play in sustaining those rights, then there's no balance. Then it means that the issue of nation building is shifted just on one side.
Okay, that's great. So for those that are just following, I want to say welcome to the Myers TV. Our topic is civic responsibility, rights, duties, and participation. So I have my next question to our guest. Before we take a break, because our guest cannot explain too much. Yeah. So how can one show civic responsibility in their daily life? How can we are claiming that we are a citizen of a nation, a patriotic citizen? So how can we persuade or show people we are living responsible towards nation building? How can one practice that in our daily life?
Okay, thank you. One first and foremost, I think we must start learning to take interest in basic issues. Issues like that affect our community. And, we must take interest in community or development when those initiatives comes or as citizens dwelling within those spaces. We shouldn't see it like it's only the leaders. We also need to, even if it is, let not say even if, but by voluntary. So even if there's a compensation that comes with your participation, that shouldn't be the focus. The focus should be at least your involvement as a person within the community. Once it's a community project, it's not a personal project to somebody. Is something that will benefit the entire community. Let's get involved. Let's participate in peaceful dialogues and initiatives, and wherein we can talk this kind of talk. We can share ideas. We can enlighten the minds of young people, of our friends, of our colleagues. Let's know, and, create room to understand the responsibility that comes with those rights that we appreciate. It's so good that in this current dispensation we have opportunity to the social platforms. So let's use those platforms responsibly to educate and inform the young people. Let's lead by example in a more lawful and an accountable way. As citizens, they ensure that we respect the different rules and regulations that govern the well-being of each and everyone, not only me. So you should understand that despite you have the right, but sometimes where your right stops is where another person's rights begin. So, and uh, at a point where you cross that thin line, then it becomes a violation, and it could even lead you into trouble. So let's just be responsible citizens. Yeah.
Thank you so much, to our guest. So, Myers, can we take a break and then after I turn over to you as my co-host?
Yeah. Oh, my TV, light in the world. My TV, shine on the screen. Voices of hope, living the dream from Africa's heart to the world we see. the purpose so true. But when I'm Myers, we honor you. With faith and courage, the journey began. Building a platform for every man. Through trials and growth, the light stayed strong. Turning every challenge into
Nice, I guess you're enjoying the music so much. Once you're
Thank you. Wait, what are you saying?
enjoying the music so bad, even though I was
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I think myself enjoying the music.
yeah, sure. We were enjoying the music, and that's how it should be. We have to come together. Africa is all we have, and tonight this happened to be a great topic, and I hope that a lot of us who are watching tonight can try to know that we owe a lot to our country. Because imagine, Queen, we pledge an allegiance. We pledge an allegiance. I remember a few days ago we've been seeing on the social media where they were saying that Kobosha should pay tax, the other people should pay tax. You saw everybody is running better startup because it looks very new to us, right? Oh, how should I pay tax, this and that? But we are making all the money. Queen,
Yeah, but I think Myers, I think the president have put a hold to that for revision. So
yeah. They have to review, but it's matter of Mr. Conto, you and I go Labrador now. We know it's upon us that tax. We already live here, right? Everything we do here, we pay tax. Even the food we go and buy to the market, they are
yeah,
tax there, right? The
sure.
transportation, they are tax there for government and other things, right? We already know these things are used to us now, right? So when we get back, it is not something that screams to us, but it's like how do you call it? It's like a primary education that they try to introduce to our people back home, and everybody is like running here and there. But yeah, these people who are running here and there, they are making the money. You think they are not making the money? And these are people that are always crying that they want development, they want development. How do you think that I was saying last night, Wednesday, right? How do you think the government going to run? Every time, that's why you see our country is always in debt. Because we citizens, right, we shy away from our own responsibility. We don't want to support the government. We wouldn't want the government to support us. We wouldn't want the government to support us. And tonight you laid a very good foundation. I hope our people will try to understand that we as a citizen too, we pledge an allegiance to the country. When it comes to our tax, we have to pay tax. We have to do some things in the country. It is not just the government. Everything. That's a perception we have in our country. Everything is about the government. Another thing you stress, there are a lot of us in our communities or district where we stay. The issue of poverty basis is something that been killing us. That's why the people that come and right on when it comes to our right and responsibility, they just take it from us. Now, if you and myself go back, I know we've been doing it before. Now, before I give somebody my vote, there are some tough questions I will ask you
Certainly,
because I
certainly.
know that if I send you there, you're going to represent me, and what are the representation you're going to carry? They're going to affect the people positively, going to affect us positively or negatively. But sometimes because of poverty business, we say our right to these people. I remember where I from the district. There's a guy who was working in the Eden government. I'm not going to call his name. Just imagine that guy came with huge amount of money, started to get business with me, other people then sharing money and other things. It was so shocking to know that guy won election. Do you know what he told me at the end of the day? These people that you are giving the money to, that his money made him win. I don't know whether you can remember that, Lord, because you are right. And he's right to say that because we saw our right. We saw it. Because of 4,000, 5,000 business, we saw it to him. So he right. Now it's time for the man to get his money back. All the money the man spent, it's time for him to get it back. So we citizens today, we lack these things of understanding our right that we have. And we misuse our right in society today. And because of misusing it today, it affect us. It affect our generation to come. Imagine if you go and elect somebody bad for your place or for the country, what happened at the end of the day? Not just you, but even the children to come will suffer it. That's why Labrador has been going through town to town, town to town. Imagine somebody was saying right the other time that all the Google leaders that Labrador had to kill all of them. I don't know whether that's true. I don't know whether that's true.
No,
All
we still we
they are
still
still
got good,
good people.
good leaders.
Yeah, yeah, they are still good people, right? And you know what looks so frustrating, right? Sometimes we see these rightful people that will help us represent us, that will help us pour on the path. It was so frustrating, Mr. Condon, that we look at them and try to play and downplay them, and we say our right to other people. The thing of sympathy making to seek our interest. Another thing that was supporting our country there. Who know you? Oh, they men are my relative. When they men win, my whole family will resurrect.
Yeah.
On those kind of sympathy, we go and make somebody representative. Only for you and your family. That's why you're trying to see what matters to the district, what matters to the people who live in our environment. We don't look at the development of the country, but everything we want the government to do, everything. That's why you are saying on the thing about protest, and I said it all the time. I'm not against protest, which of course that tonight we're talking, it is the right and responsibility of all citizens to protest. But are those protests meaningful? Why are those protests
Yeah.
impacting our society, in our country? Are they meaningful, or just to go and be causing whole day that why they go and protest for? These are things we talk about, right? Or to just be influenced by one or two person just influence you, just give you small money and say, okay, go and do this thing. The thing of Liberia today, we suffer from, we don't know the time for politics, we don't know the time for governance. Unless we try to recognize this in time for politics and time for governance. You understand? In this other country, you see people who contest in this very position. These are people that are business class, right? These are entrepreneurs. When it comes to that particular political season, they partake in it. Once that political season is done, they go back to start carrying on development. That's what they do. But not to sit every time and be making noise. Not to sit every time and be making noise. But sometimes we don't blame these people because we ourselves, as a citizen of the country, we don't know our right and responsibility. That's why these people come or they just play mockery out of us. They fool us a lot. Yeah. So I would like to ask you, this question, right? While you were speaking, and there is always one other thing that comes to my mind. What do you think is the what do you think youth influence when it comes to the nation building? Now we are talking about the citizens as a whole, but now let's look at the young people when it comes to the development of the country. How do you think they make impact when it comes to that? When it comes to their right and responsibility, how do you think that it makes impact in the society?
Well, Myers, we will make a significant impact because Liberia, I think, on the Irish, there are more young people than the older ones, and so once the youth get involved, once the youth understand their basic fundamental rights and those responsibility that comes along. Let me just shift a bit. You are saying something about people buying votes and just give money and we go and vote on that basis. The last time I was telling someone, I say if a constituent can just sit, in unison and say that we scrutinize the people that want to be our leaders, and we take one person regardless. We take one person whether you have money or not, but based on your time you have lived with the people, how you live with the people is important. Your records you have living with the people, not so much about you as an individual, those uh, development initiative like infrastructure, because people can be looking at those things sometimes, but it's not basically about that, but how you have lived with the people, how responsible you have become. Some community engagement, that's why you don't have money, but when there's community engagement, you are involved. When there are issues affecting the community one way or the other, you come and you engage the issue logically and you give your participation. And those things, you have been a responsible citizen within that terrain. We scrutinize the people, we send one person. If that person, despite we have understood that you were the best candidate at the time, and you go and you are not able representing us, we don't need anything from you. When you come about the next time, your money, we don't even want it. So the next time we decide and scrutinize other people and send one more person, if we continue that consistently within a speed of time, you'll see that anybody coming that you are sending to the spotlight, that person will come with absolute correct mind to lead. So this is where, as young people, we come in. It is not about this person being a relative. It is not about what I'm benefiting from this person, but our engagement. must be based on a serious scrutiny process of who we want to carry and what comes when that person becomes the leader for the community. What is the benefit of the community and not me as a person? So the youth have, with the kind of number we have as young people, we have a serious influence in nation building. So it's just about us understanding what our responsibilities are. So we can do that. I think when we were coming up through high school, they used to teach civics in school. I don't know if they are still doing that. So we must encourage
I
civic
think I
education.
think I don't know. I think they are still. I don't know what, but because the kind of question I see people are answering when it comes to their right and responsibility. I think serious have been compromised now.
It is
Yeah,
still
I think that. So we need to encourage civic education in our schools and communities. So when the young people understand, aside from the right that they have, they understand their responsibilities and duties and what their participation means to nation building. Now I believe we are making progress. But on the Irish, trust me, Myers, when the young people understand these basic things, they have serious influence in scrutinizing their leaders. They have serious influence in standing up for their rights as citizens. So once we understand our responsibility and we act accordingly, we can question the movement, the involvement of our leaders when they are not on the rightful trajectory, obviously. And once the youth come together and stand to stand for a certain cause, we believe that change can come. Yeah, so the youth have serious part to play. I think the basic here should be encouraging civic education in our schools and community to make the young people to understand what their rights and responsibility are, what their duties, their participation should be. We should promote awareness through these media discussions. It's very important. These awareness are very much necessary to provide this kind of education. We must foster the trust between citizens and institutions. I think with this, it also helps to promote the issue of nation building. So to celebrate, and recognize responsible citizenship is the first and foremost thing of all of us as young people because we have a significant role to play. Yes, Myers, the youth have a serious part to play.
Thank you so much. You said it all that we need to know our value when it comes to our country development. Because if we don't understand how value we are, we will just say ourselves a little or nothing. We will say our birthright. We will are like you remember the story of Esau. Is that Esau and Jacob, right? We will end up saying
Yeah,
it. Queen, Queen, is that Esau and Jacob? I hope I'm right, right? We're not selling our bright, and these things today have affected us time to come, right? It have affected every time we face the challenges in our place today because we don't know the kind of responsibility that we have in when it comes to the decision making place. That's why you see today, a lot of times you see Mr. Konto, you see a lot of times the old people want to die off it, they don't want to get a young people chance. And at the end of the day, you say, oh, the people don't want. The reason why is because we don't know. We ourselves, I said it here on Wednesday. We ourselves don't value ourselves. We don't put ourselves on the map. We don't want. We don't want to take responsibility. We don't want to give back to society. And the issue of everything is government. Everything is government. We have to erase that narrative.
yeah, certainly,
All the
certainly.
all the responsibilities is on the government. You were saying of ASR that's the thing. A lot of students just want the benefit of ASR but don't want to get ASR they are all and all, and which of course is very wrong. We all need to participate. And another thing I look at is the thing of this party sentiment thing. I said it the other time here, and I'm saying it right. Once this person it is not mine, I feel like no, I cannot do anything to push them. And today you see that's what a lot of our leaders are facing today. Because there are other people who feel like they are knowledgeable about things, but they don't want to support it because that particular thing is not within their comfort zone. So they feel like when I support it, what will I get from there? And you as a citizen, that's a very bad practice. And we're saying it today that we have to change the narrative because listen, last time we said like bro, we are leaving behind, we are leaving behind. We are ourselves causing for us to leave behind. If we must put ourselves on the map, I said to somebody the other time, if we can build Liberia the way we see it, if we don't change the mindset or we not build a mindset of Liberians, at the end of the day, once so many people will gather and destroy Liberia, all the Google thing you put there will destroy it because the minds matter a lot. People need to understand that yes, there's their responsibility. These are things that they need to do. You know, people just get on the radio that you are talking on the laws, the laws and other things, Mr. Kunto. People just get on the radio, just say anything. We don't know our boundaries. And you know, we look at these things, we look at it very common, but it's funny that it's very, very serious, Queen. You just come and just insult other people in the name of politics, in the name of this, in the name of this. Imagine when you look at the culture and tradition of our country. Do you see how we do in our country today? That's why people will look at and say the young people not serious. And a young man will just open his Facebook page, get on the social media, just talk whatever comes to his mind. We don't have that limit. We don't know what to say. We don't know where to say it and how to say it and other things. It has become prevalent today. So we hope that tonight that all of our people who are watching will try to understand that we as a citizen, as a young people, we have that responsibility, we have that duties upon us to do, the needful in the society. It is not just what the country will do for us, but what we ourselves can do for the country. And that's why we said today, we the Myers TV family, we decided to open this platform to provide in our own way to provide this kind of education. And you know what happened? These things, when we try to go from district to district, from counties to counties, explain to our people, we surely believe that the narrative or the kind of mindset our people carry will try to shift, about
Certainly,
it is
certainly.
not just a cause, but we ourselves can make a positive impact. So I would like to say thank you so much for tonight, and I would like to turn back to our host for tonight.
Thank you so much, Myers. When you two were talking, and I just discovered something that sometimes it's not about they don't know their responsibility, but they are not aware of it. Because if we look at today, right, how many people is familiar or acquainted with the Liberian? How many people? So that's why we are seeing these things, the platform, because nowadays we notice that majority mind have been shaped on the internet. So when we are carrying on awareness, it enlightens the minds of people. They start to take responsibility. Let's say for instance in a church, everyone familiar with the scripture that say pay your malika, right? Pay tithe and offering. How many people read that? But all we pastors have to encourage their members before they be motivated or inspired to pay tithe in our churches or offering. It tells that awareness is actually good for the citizens to know their responsibility and duty. Because if we see today where like our politicians, they are only care about doing awareness when there is an election. They want to go on Spoon TV, they want to go on a platform, tell people how to vote, how like mark this other paper, do this. But how often do they, encourage awareness on
Manito number two are wearing the blue shirt.
so how many times do
Wait,
people
I can enjoy that thing, eh? I can enjoy it. Don't forget about number two, the blue shirt, the blue coat you see in there. I'm no Queen, I have
get
people there.
very very sure? So these are things. So I remember doing 2023 elections. Spoon was given the opportunity to the Senator Amara, right? Yeah, Senator Amara to come on Spoon every time check vote. How many times? Every time people preach on politics, citizens are not paying their taxes, citizens are not doing it. Or are they being told? Like, I don't know if this is a legit, but I've been told that Liberia is no longer teaching the kids civics in high school. It baffles me when I hear these things because how will these kids grow up in Liberia? How we behave, what are those rights, duties? Because these are things that they teach right in civics. We've been to high school, we have learned these things. So if we are coming over to speak today, I even remember when my teacher ever sat in class and teach me about my Constitution of Liberia or the right of Liberia, Africa. Yeah. So you see, in India, it might not be serious, but there's a course here called human value, the ethics of him. I don't know if other universities is there, but
Yeah,
my
we
you
got
don't.
are there in their constitution. Yeah,
Okay,
we
so
learn. Yeah, we
you
did in their constitution.
you don't actually joke with human value if you can fit in a course in about human value because the people want to put their ethics into you. They want to tell you the rules and regulations that govern India, regardless of your religious, regardless of you are international students or not. So these are things that the government has to put in place, Myers, and to our guests. These are things the government has to put in place, continue doing awareness. And it's not only the government responsibility, it's not only last on the government because Mayu, His Excellency Joseph Iman Parker, I don't want to believe in even know me, nor Myers, nor our guests, or even a one of the Myers TV platform. But yet and still we are here talking, we are carrying awareness every day. It tells that we all we have to contribute to nation building. You have
Yeah.
your phone, you have your phone every time you on TikTok. Let me put my hand up. Every time you on TikTok, every time you on the media, you are on YouTube. You know how many times some people if they are sick, they will come on live, wish me speedy recovery. I don't know if you are the person who's in that. If you sit in the hospital and wish yourself speedy recovery, I don't know if what's going to happen to you. Yeah, but for people to use the social media like to use it on the right things to carry on awareness, sometimes it makes me sad admires you being in India for the past 10 years, 8 years in India, and no one knows Myers to be some people in some Liberians here, I tell you no lie, if you ask different engineers, they will ask you if this person is a Liberian, they will argue with you why is it because we are hiding our identity as a Liberian. We don't want to be involved into things, that after India we will be remembered on the positive side because mind you other people are doing other things here that tomorrow they will be remembered. So these are things we have to put into consideration. Use our phone since now everyone minds their focus is shifting to the internet. We have to use our platform, our phones, our devices to carry on awareness about our duty as a citizen, how to keep the environment clean, how to have respect for your older person, how to use the freedom of speech that is causing trouble. Our honorable Yeke, Jeff, you say it again. we are I'm so sorry to honor your get qualified fan. I'm so sorry for that. But we have to carry on, people have to be aware how to use that right? How to use their right on issues. So let's turn to our guest. If maybe perhaps you have something to say that we didn't really acknowledge that you can just take 2 minutes and then we call it a day.
Okay, so I'll just see it like you are asking for a concluding statement. So let me start by saying thank you to the Myers TV show family, for having me on your platform. It's an honor, and I hope that there will still be opportunity. So let me also appreciate our followers who are following this program tonight. Taking time out to follow these things uh, require an applaud. So let me say thank you to those that are following. So in conclusion, let me just say that a better Liberia is not built by the government alone. It is built by responsible citizens. Because the thing is, rights give us freedom, and then responsibilities give that freedom meaning. So the right gives us freedom, but the responsibility gives that freedom meaning. And our participation gives that responsibility the power. So let me repeat it for the sake of the public. We say the right gives us freedom, and the responsibility give that freedom a meaning. And then our participation give that responsibility a power. So let's not only depend on the government for a better Liberia, but let us be better citizens. So I want to say thank you, and may we all continue to contribute to the strong and responsible nation building. So thank you very much. It's an honor to be on your platform.
Thank you so much, our guest. Like you, one thing you mentioned, and I actually enjoyed that. I hope they will, and they won't be my last time here. And the Miles TV family can assure you that if you want to come in every time, our arms are open to you. We actually appreciate your time being here. Only what people like you people that it's very difficult to get. You have to book appointment. You have to see, pay all those office stuff. But we are
Sure, sure.
privileged to have you here. So we say thank you so much. You having to take our guest so he can take his leave.
So, thank you so much. Let me say a very big thank you to our guest for tonight. Thank you for honoring our invitation. And we hope again to have you on this platform for another great discussion. And we say thanks to the ASR family, for having such a great SG. The first time I met this man, I got to know that he's such a great man, and I always
Aaron,
appreciate. What you say, Queen?
eh,
Queen, I beg
well,
you, let not bring our board us out on the show tonight. We'll talk the other one later. I beg you.
So let me say thank you. Chairman, you did extremely well by honoring our invitation, and we hope that you can join us here some days. We appreciate that. Please extend our greetings to the president, the vice president, and the rest of the ASR family. Thank you so much for being with us tonight. Have a wonderful night.
Okay, thank you, and good night also.
thank you so much. Bye. So thanks to our follower for being here always with all the show runs from Wednesday. We come here Wednesday from 10:30 p.m. India time to 11:30. Sometimes last to 12, and also in Liberia is 5, right, Miles? In Liberia it's 5 p.m. So we want to say thank you, and like I said, the show runs Wednesday, it runs Friday, and it runs on Saturday. So we say thank you. This is how we jot down key things on today's edition. Good night. I love you. Bye bye.
Thank you.